Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Okay, I thought I'd just play and see what comes out. You may have noticed a swift change in the energy this week. It feels like we're punching through the matrix of the limitation of dreaming. There's a going beyondness. There's a, it's that kind of surprise. Can I have that? Can I be that? Something is getting punctured. So I've pulled a few cards, and I was also drawn to grab a couple of my favorite books. And the first one is this. This is one of the most beautiful books I possess, which a friend bought for me. It's called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse by Charlie Mackenzie. What's your best discovery? Asked the mole. That I'm enough as I am, said the boy. And from this is one of my oldest books. I don't know when it was published. First published 1985, this edition 1999. So I've had this since 1999. And I opened it today on a page I've never read before, actually, and it's a dedication from Susan Hayward, who wrote the book, who says, above all, trust your own direction. I hope this guide gives you confidence to follow your path and surrender to the inner intuitive voice that recognizes the harmony and the wholeness that has always been there. I hope also that this contributes to the increasing new awareness and social transformation taking place throughout the world that will unite all human beings as one. And that will not be without its challenges. I'm not painting it pretty. Okay. Change is a constant, and it's something that makes us a bit nervous. Yeah, feels good. Okay. So, first card out, and these are from the Sacred Forest Oracle by Denise Lynn. And with this card, immediately what I'm getting is Oh, wow. Okay. Lightening the load of our own convictions is what I get with that. So it's got a kind of 10 of Wands inverted energy. It's putting down the burdens of conviction. And it's kind of speaking to it's almost a fake conviction. Yeah, it is. Wow. It's the underlying truth being revealed. It's the you that resides behind your personality. The personality is burdened because it has to be a certain way. And sometimes we inadvertently step into that obligation and conviction that we are nice, kind, loving, all the good, shiny Walt Disney bits, which are easy. But that can create tremendous pressure on the soul essence that kind of wants to be everything, that wants to experience. And so we enlighten ourselves by putting down those burdens. And in that causes the ripple. We had the sacrifice card come out the other day. And so it's a kind of It's not quite a switching of allegiance. They are two strong words. It is a purification. It's a purification. Okay. Hang on a minute. I can see it. I just haven't got the words for it. Got it. Okay. So it's a picking up of conviction and placing on your path. It's literally the shift from karma, obligated and convicted to be something on a collective path, to dharma. And, well, I light my own path and I go to my own grotto. I go to my own lagoon. You're being silly. I can read the signs. I move with every twinkle of light because I can read the light rays. I can hear the wind in the trees. I can read the field around me. And this is where we build trust and inner confidence. And this is where we build resilience to what we humans sometimes call failure. There's only the experience. There is only the experience. People have said to me for 15 years, I just want to be successful. Well, define success. I want to be the best I can. Define best. They don't know because they're in the collective program to be successful and be the best. I don't know what those things are. So manifesting dreams through the water spirit, again, speaks to what I was talking about the other day with harnessing the energy of the emotions to create power. They're like a little power station. Obviously, we've got to do the shadow work because if the emotions are cloudy and distorted, then when we clean that up, it becomes light energy, powerful, actually, light energy, emotions. And we manifest from there because we plant into the emotions. What's this going to feel like? Dare I feel that excited? Dare I feel that joyful and that passionate? Dare I feel that defiant? Okay, so I'm manifesting through heart-centered feelingness. It's the beauty way. It's the beauty way. Okay, and in that, there will be some imbalance. And it's not always about righting the ship when it wobbles. It's about learning to balance in that moment. It's become such a cliche, be in the moment. It's lost its meaning. But there is the lovely depth to being in the moment. This moment's horrible, yeah. Yeah. Learn to balance in it. See, it's coming in on that 9 of dissolving the perception of having to make everything pretty and spread buttercream onto everything to make it gorgeous and lovely and I'm a winner and I succeed and yada yada. And what about I'm learning to balance standing on a pinhead carrying an elephant on my back, but I'll learn it. It's balancing in the energy of disruption and change. Very strong, strong energy. Because we are moving out of stagnation. It might be worth you watching Stefan Burns's video today, which speaks of a huge plasmic emission from the sun that has hit Mercury, Venus, and the Earth. Can I put that into words? Okay, so I'm speaking as an occupant of the Northern Hemisphere, and as we here slip into autumn and winter, they're normally kind of times where the land rests, where decomp happens, where the soil rots down. It's a slow, quiet time, but what I'm sensing is it might not be this year. It might be surprisingly potent. Yeah. There's so much I could speak to with this card, because it's going to challenge some really old programs about about busyness, really, about busyness and restingness, and how those two can sit in the same container, because that's going to speak to us building our new matrix of self-care and self-love and self-holding. What's your blueprint for rest? What's your blueprint for activity? Do you go with the flow? Or do you put stuff in your diary and fill your diary so full there's actually no time for you to just be and feel and sense? Get the next set of downloads. Balancing on one foot. The next set of downloads. Yeah, that's lovely. It's easier to walk alone when we've cleaned up our fear patterning. Then it becomes the joyful otter. Then it just becomes the joyful, playful child. Don't know where this is going. Don't know what I'm creating. I'm just following the lead of the universe. Unmarked trail. We can't know it. If we're building something new, we can't know it before we build it. We just have to kind of create a new foundation, slab by slab, with patience and pacing and self-care and love. And it's a new foundation that does not conform to linear production. It's beautiful. Mm. So this speaks to two energies. Today it's bringing in hermit energy, which is the season. Tis the season of the hermit, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. It's also bringing in learning. It's kind of learning the song of the resonant emotion. So learning to read each emotion. Oh, it's beautiful. It's like strings on a guitar. Ah, so much. It's like strings on a guitar, and there are only like, what are they? Like a tiny amount of chords on a guitar. But when you blend them, they create different harmonics, and it's no different with the emotions. If we get layered emotions, they will create different harmonics. That's how complex we are as human beings. Emotions very often come out layered. And when we can go through the layers and feel our way through, we can get to what the shyness at the bottom, and get to the root at the bottom. So I guess as a holistic message, it might be something like bubble yourself or hermit yourself to go deep. To learn your song, maybe. We've had this card often this year. And in my small corner of the world, if I just read the comments on my channel, it's happening. We're doing it as a collective, birthing the soul. It's gorgeous. Standing the ego down and giving it a rest. Ego and the intellect have run our sensory perception for too long. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that is interesting. The vanishing mirror is right. Okay. So if we go with the analogy that all of life is a mirror, what happens when that mirror disappears and all we have is ourself? That's interesting. So as I stand here, all that's in front of me is the void. There's nothing to reflect me back to me. And the words stand and stare. And this is just the purity of beingness, the divinity of interconnectivity. And now I can like see our galaxy, and I can see the spiral, the Milky Way, the Milky Arms. I can see it just spinning. So is the Milky Way reflecting me back to me? Is there a part of me that's looking for that reflection? Who am I without the reflection? What am I without the reflection? Okay, so that's that. There we go, folks. There is a new moon coming up. I don't even know what date it's happening. I believe it's the new moon in Aries. I'm sorry, I've got myself into an unmarked trail, and I'm looking at all my decks of cards and it's like nothing matters. That's what it feels like. Well, nothing matters. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to wrap it up. So I guess this is about learning to find your balance, standing on one foot, because we're moving out of stagnation into the sovereignty of creation. No need, no push, just joy. I know I make it sound easy because we're all on different points on our path, and some are going through the grit and the rubble of their clearing. And we all send love to you. Okay, let's wrap it up. To wrap it up, yeah, let's wrap it up with a different deck. If I can get it. Wrap it up with Sacred Rebels. What's the closing message, please, for this? Right, okay. Extra messages coming in here. Uranian. Watch Pam Gregory's New Moon Aries video, because when I said that blew my head off, it blew my head off because what it linked me into was a channeling I did 21/12/22, so 21st of December 2022, and it was about Vada and Manwë as the divine creative, masculine and feminine, and that's somehow linked into the Aries new moon. So this thing, this what is coming, there's something, the revelation, and it might be within and it might be without. Mm-hmm. It's to do with memory. All right. I'm going to leave that there. That's quite a big message, but it's to do with recovering memory. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Okay, guys, I just want to share something that's coming in. So I have listened to your intuition. I'm suddenly aware that there's an energy that's come in that I know well, that I've done an awful lot of work with, that's making me feel quite emotional. Maybe one day I'll share the story. It's a massive story, but we're talking galactic roots. Okay. So yeah, I want to invite you to speak to your intuition. Speak through your intuition. Let your intuition lead the throat chakra and the higher mind. Because with what's coming in, there may be an impulse to filter. And I'm curious. The child in me is very curious about, as we learn to work with these new energies, can we just make space for ourselves to blunder around for a little bit? This is a new sandpit. There are toys I've never played with before. And that will challenge the old programming of, but I'm used to taking responsibility for their feelings and how they feel about me. Let it challenge that, blunder around in it. Really stop and listen. This is the magic in the beingness. When we have a noisy environment, we can't often hear ourselves. So creating silent space where it's just you, no distraction. And then just listening. That's as complicated as it gets, just listening. And then you move into collaborative dreaming. And once the system knows you are awake, it will arrive. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up, guys. For real. What's the underlying? Okay, thank you. Yeah. We talk of love as humans. I could wax lyrical about how humans talk about love. I wonder if it's worth playing with maybe one paragraph, write one paragraph. What is my experience? How do I understand love? What is my experience of love? Or something like that. Because again, that's another, I want to be the best. I want to succeed. I just want love. I just want to be loved. But what is love? Well, and love isn't what gets described. It's weighted down with all kinds of expectations and burdens and responsibility. We put so much on love, but love is, well, I'm not speaking to that. I'm inviting you to connect with what love is. Because it isn't a human thing. What we call love is very often chemically induced. Hormones, chemicals. Yeah, this is the, yeah, I know. So this card is speaking to the replenishment of that connection to source. Divine source is the idea that no person, place, or thing is your salvation, only love itself. So that connection back to source is where there is no mirror. That's where you get free reign. Unmaking of the maken self. I don't even know anymore. And that's coming out with divine abundance. So I think that was thunder. You were born to align with love's will. So this is speaking to divine will. Follow the Tao and serve something beyond the ego. Learn to be abundance. Learn to be abundance, not chase it. Gorgeous. I don't know what I'm going to call this. I don't know what I'm going to call this. Right. Okay. I am properly going now. And I wish you all a beautiful weekend. Yeah, that's it. Do the clicking, drop me a comment. Always drop me a comment. And I'll see you all again soon. Take good care. Bye-bye.